Good afternoon, all of you. Hope you people are fine and you have started your preparation or you have given a gear to your preparation for this 2023 prelims. So from last couple of days, we have started this initiative and only for you people so that we can discuss and we can go through those previous year question paper. And I would request you one thing, if you are benefited with this particular initiative, you can share with your friends as well. Those people are appearing this prelims 2023 or this time. And it would be beneficial for them as well. So please share with your friends, and those people are giving maybe this year, maybe next year, because these are only previous year question paper and we are discussing and we have divided into on different themes. So you can share it with them as well. So let's begin this discussion. And the last economic session that we had about this balance of payment theme, and we discussed this previous year question paper. So let's begin with that as well, because we discussed only 5 questions on the balance of payment. We'll discuss more about that particular theme. So coming to the first question, or first a question on today's session. The question is all about, if another global financial crisis happens in the near future, which of the following actions, policies are most likely to give some immunity to India? This question is all about how India can be protected, or India would protect itself from the global financial crisis. Because as you know, in the age of globalization, the economies or countries are interdependent. So how India would protect its economy, or how the immunity towards that financial crisis you can increase so that the impact would be lesser. Options are many, not depending on the short-term foreign borrowings. Now this foreign borrowings is something what? I think you know this debt, the public debt, what we call. Maybe the government can borrow from the internal sources within the country and outside the country as well. So this is what we call the foreign borrowing. And it is the short term and long term. So any kind of foreign borrowing is a kind of burden for the economy, what we know. So if it says that not depending on the short term foreign borrowing, obviously, or I mean very much clear that if you are not dependent on the foreign borrowing, then obviously your economy would be more immune towards the external financial crisis. Okay, so what we can say, the statement 1 is correct. Opening up to more foreign banks, opening up to more foreign banks, it means in your economy you are going to open more foreign bank branches. If you are going to open more foreign bank branches, then what would happen? Those banks, they are operating on different countries, let's say US or European countries. So if those banks are affected by those financial crisis, obviously that branches will be affected in your country as well. That means the bank branches which they have operated in your country, they have given loan to different sectors, they are also affected. So when you open more number of foreign bank branches, definitely that would impact negatively, or that would impact on your economy similarly as it impacts on the global economy. So statement 2 is not correct. That means your immunity towards the foreign crisis or economic crisis would reduce. Coming to the third statement, maintaining full capital account convertibility. Convertibility means, I will come to the next question for this reference. This question was already asked in UPSC in previous year. What is this concept convertibility? Now convertibility simply means without any kind of restriction, if one currency, for example Indian rupee, is exchanged against the foreign currency, let's say dollar. Let me repeat, without any restriction, if one currency is exchanged against the foreign currency, what we call this convertibility. Now convertibility, if you see this A, B, C, D, the 4 options, then the C is the answer. That means freely permitting the conversion of the rupee to other currencies, and vice versa. This is convertibility. Now here, this in the third statement it says capital account convertibility. I think if you have read the balance of payment, then it is current account and capital account. If you see the India's status or what India follows in terms of convertibility, then in the capital account convertibility, we follow the partial one. In the capital account, we follow the partial convertibility, but in the current account, we follow the fuller convertibility. That means in India, as far as current account is concerned, we follow fuller convertibility, and in the capital account, it's the partial. I think you have already read that SS Tarapure committee, which has already been set up in 1990s, and SS Tarapure recommended that India should go for phase wise for the fuller capital account convertibility. Now question is, maintaining fuller capital account convertibility, when your capital account convertibility will be fuller one, there would be no restriction, then immunity would increase or decrease. That is the question. Answer is immunity would reduce, because when you remove any kind of restriction in the capital account in terms of convertibility, that means your economy would more prone to crisis. You cannot protect your economy because there would be no restriction on the what? Outflow of the capital. There would be no restriction on the inflow of the capital. If you see the capital account convertibility, then this is the different components are what? Investment, borrowing, etc. Okay. So convertibility is partial. That means government has some restriction over that convertibility in terms of currencies, in terms of investment, borrowing. So you can avoid this unnecessary excessive appreciation or depreciation of currency. Okay. Unnecessary excessive appreciation and depreciation of the currency. So that means if you go for the fuller one, your country would more prone to crisis. So if it would be partial one, then you can protect your economy from the external economic crisis. Okay. So this is bit technical, fuller capital account convertibility. Let me repeat this for you. Convertibility simply means the currency exchanged, one currency against another, or domestic currency is exchanged against the foreign currency without any restriction. In India, we follow what? Current account convertibility, that is the fuller one, and in terms of capital account convertibility, India follows the partial one. Now why partial? Because if you convert it into the fuller one, then your economy would more prone to crisis. That means if any fluctuations in the market in the US, automatically, for example, in recent months, if you see that the Federal Reserve in US, they raised the exchange rate. They raised the exchange rate of what? I mean, they simply adopted this tighter monetary policy and they raised the what we call the rate of interest. So investment started flowing to US economy. So when this investment started flowing to the US economy, Indian rupee has started depreciating. You cannot control if your economy has adopted this fuller capital account convertibility. Only thing you can control if you have the control over that or partial one. Okay. So answer would be only A, one only, because third statement is not correct. So you have to maintain the partial capital account convertibility if you want to protect your economy from the external economic crisis. Okay. So this was the first question I discussed. Second question also I discussed related to convertibility only. You can see the kind of questions they are asking. Topic remains same. They are repeating the same kind of topic again and again. Now coming to this was asked in 2016 again. This is something related to this balance of payment chapter, and it was a current affairs based question. Now renminbi, which is the currency of China, that was added in the SDR basket of IMF special drawing rights, which was added in 2015, and this question was asked in 2016. Okay. So recently, which of the following currencies has been proposed to be added to the basket of IMF's SDR special drawing rights? And it was the D answer, renminbi. Okay. This was the current affairs based question which was asked in 2016. Okay. Coming to this question, Before that, let me tell you, if you see the previous year question paper, they generally ask questions on the report and index, okay? And generally those international economic institutions, what kind of report they publish or what kind of index they publish, generally UPSC ask questions on them. So this was asked before. Which one of the following issues the global economic prospects report periodically? Answer is obviously the World Bank. World Bank published this. So many such report, World Economic Outlook, Gender Gap Report. These reports are published by those international institutions. You have to be careful. So if you read or preparing for the prelims, or you are preparing the current affairs for the prelims, so please include that report and index in your list of topics, because they ask questions on them. Now coming to this, which one of the following groups of items is included in India's foreign exchange reserve? Now, India's foreign exchange reserve, which is maintained by the Reserve Bank of India. Now it consists of what? It basket of different components. If you see these options A, B, C, D, then if you see A, C, D options, you would find that in every A, C and D option, loans are mentioned. In C option, loans from the World Bank. In D option, loans from the World Bank again. In A option, loans from foreign countries. If you see the foreign exchange basket, or what we call the forex reserve of RBI, it does not include your loans from any countries or any financial institutions. This you have to remember. They have simply confused by putting this loans option in this what we call A, C, and D. Loans are not included. What it consists of? It consists of foreign currency assets. Foreign currency assets means simply dollar, pound sterling, Japanese yen, Chinese currency, okay, euro. So these are the foreign currency assets. Second, gold holdings of the RBI and SDRs. SDR means special drawing rights, which just in the previous question, in case of IMF, what we saw, this SDR is something related to IMF. And apart from these foreign currency assets, gold and SDR, another one is reserve position with the IMF. Reserve position with the IMF, through which every member countries can borrow money or fund from the IMF. Okay, so RBI, which maintains the foreign exchange reserve, it consists of first foreign currency assets, second gold, third SDR, and the fourth is reserve position. Okay, I think this much was the today's questions. The first we discussed about the global financial crisis, how India can be protected from the any kind of financial crisis at the global level. Second, we discussed the convertibility. Third, we discussed the currency which was added in the IMF's SDR, and the report we discussed which is published by the World Bank. And the last question we discussed the foreign exchange reserve which maintains by the RBI. Okay, so tomorrow we'll continue with few more questions, and till then you please you have started your prelims preparation, and do well, and we'll meet soon tomorrow at the same time with few more questions and few more themes. Thank you. All the best.